Back here on Sun Devil Extra, Braden Bell joined alongside one of the new Sun Devils on the wrestling team. Is expected to make a big impact in his graduate season, his 5th year. From Brick, New Jersey, it's David Szuba joining us on the program. How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm good. So let's talk about your transition to Tempe. 4 years at Ryder, back on the East Coast. You come here to a whole new world, a big-time program, playing under a legend in Zeke Jones. What's the transition been like for you?
It's been awesome so far. It's very welcoming. Everyone's been so just thankful that I'm here. We all want to do the same thing and all win. So it's been, some people who transfer, they have a hard time, fitting in with the team. But I feel like as soon as I came here, they all treated me with respect and they all welcomed me with open arms. It's been absolutely awesome.
Coach was just talking to us in the last segment about the pillars of your team this year, but also how you guys talked about with so many newcomers that leadership can come from anywhere.
Right.
For you being so experienced in college wrestling, even though it's your first year here, how have you kind of adapted into that role as a leader now as a Sun Devil?
Just leading by example, not necessarily. Some guys are the outspoken guys, and some guys lead by example. I think leading by example and then saying tidbits here and there does more than always being the guy to talk, because when stuff gets hard, people look towards someone else. If you're starting to break in the room, you're looking towards the guy next to you. If the guy next to you is moping and being a sap, then you're gonna do the exact same thing, But if that guy has a poker face and he's doing everything right, and you can look towards him all the time. So that's kind of what I'm trying to do. It's been difficult, but just trying to lead by example for a young team like this.
We're going to get into your talent on the mat in a minute, but I think we can't really talk about you unless we talk about your family, right?
Yeah.
You are a very, very principled family guy, but it also seems like a reason maybe you came to ASU, and correct me if you're wrong, your brother Ben being on the roster as well. So how cool is that? I feel like that's every brother dynamics dream, right? To play a college sport with your little brother, you get to do that.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. I mean, that was part of the recruiting deal out here. I was like, dude, I really want Ben to be out here with me. It's my last year, and he wanted to as well. So they were like, all right, we can make it work. And I think they're not going to regret it. He's pretty big, so he's going to do well the next following year.
I'm curious in terms of you two being a few years older. Where do you differ, and how are you similar? On and off the mat.
I think our energy is similar. Like even when you probably shouldn't be making jokes, we're making jokes, and like Coach Zeke said before, we bring a different kind of energy. It's not like we, even though we got our butt kicked this morning, we'll probably come in the afternoon and be like, who's ready to wrestle? So it's pretty fun. And then I think he's just obviously a little bit more immature than me. I have a wife and kids, so he's still learning his path. So that's really, I guess, the biggest difference.
And we'll get into your wife and kids in a minute. One more thing, because Coach did bring up 6:30 in the morning. You came in with a lot of energy.
Yeah.
You've got to love this, right? You have to truly love this sport. When did you start to fall in love with sport of wrestling?
I would say through high school. I had a really awesome high school coach, Mike Kiley and Dave Kiley. They really showed me the ropes of the sports. My freshman year, I didn't even know what the state tournament was because I just did the sport. And then by the end of my junior year, I was like, this is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life, or at least however long the Lord wills it. So, but especially in college, like this morning coming in, it's like when you're older and you're 23, 24 years old, if you don't have energy, you can sit there and soak up bad energy. So if you come in like, oh, let's have a good time, then that's going to carry on to practice. So
older being 23 and 24, I'm being humbled in this interview as well. This guy also used to be a problem on the gridiron as well in high school, correct? You played some football back in the day?
I played a little bit of football.
Yeah, so it translates well. Now let's get into your family, because like you said, you're wrestling for more than just yourself. You've got a wife, Kaylee, and a son and a daughter, Rose and Luke.
Yep.
How cool is that, right? To be able to do
It's a
this.
blessing, man. It's honestly, I put for my Meet David Szuba, I should have put a different memory or my favorite wrestling memory, but there was a vivid one where I'm wrestling in an open tournament, and my daughter Rose said, "Scream, get him, Daddy," and I had it underhook. And I literally have never felt more powerful, and I just blew through the guy. But being able to wrestle for them, and represent my family too, it's just a blessing, man. It's the coolest thing. And then my family, my daughter doesn't care if I win or lose, So that's, it's having nothing to lose is a really great aspect that I think I bring into the sport.
I think it's safe to say there probably aren't very many student athletes, regardless of the sport in the country, that get to play alongside their younger brother and also have a wife and a couple of kids watching them each and every match. I mean, that really is special.
I have yet to meet anyone in that department.
I would say, right? So that's why we said family is something we have to talk about with you today. You know, now that you are into getting ready to start, rather, this final year of yours.
Right.
Some goals that you have personally. I know team goals are probably the most important, but in terms of, you know, personal goals going into your final year of college wrestling, what are some of those?
I think I would say, obviously I say national champion, but I honestly, I can confidently say as long as I give my best effort, I'll be happy with whatever the outcome is. You know, if I can end this season and not regret one thing, then I'll be satisfied. But I believe, you know, that I will be a national champ because I have the talent for it and I have the dedication towards it, and I have you know, I fear the Lord, so it's I have that bringing it to every match, and I believe I will win. You know, so, and if I don't, if I gave my best effort, I'm completely okay with that. You know, I won't leave. If I lose, I lose, and I won't leave a match with my head down. As long as, but if I regretted it, obviously I'm going to beat myself up. But that's my mindset coming into this year, is regretting nothing and giving my absolute maximum effort. You know, and that's kind of where I think I'm going to.
That's what it's all about, man.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
That's truly what it's all about. And I think, you know, one more thing that I kind of wanted to touch on in terms of this team and the lineage this program has is that.
Right.
I know we alluded to it earlier, but your coach he's a legend, man. He really is.
Like, he's awesome.
His picture's right back here. He's a former world champion. You know, obviously different weight classes, everything like that, and when he was competing. But what is it like to learn under a guy that has been to the top, also coached the national team everywhere he's been?
It's honestly, it's like mesmerizing every practice. You're sitting there and you're like a little kid learning something new.
Yeah.
You know, you think you know wrestling, and then he's showing you one detail that you have never thought of in that way before. Like yesterday, he was showing us mat position, and I'm like, why are we doing this? And then he gives his tidbit on it, and I'm like, okay, this is important now. You know what I mean? This is what he's saying is right. So it's awesome. You know, it's awesome having a coach like that showing you the ropes. You know, so.
You know, last one, and this is kind of just a question for me, but also I think our fans will appreciate this.
Right.
Kind of a two-parter. So right now, we kind of already alluded to 6:30 a.m. you get going, and then are there 2-a-days? Is that what's happening?
Yeah.
Okay. So take me through a day in the life of training right now, like right before the season starts, but then also a day or two before a meet day, like when you guys get going.
So for me, it's a little different because I'm a little underweight, but normally, you know, you wake up, you get something in, banana, protein bar, and you hydrate, make sure you're hydrated before practice, get in, and you wrestle hard, you lift hard, you come back, you get a shake, you get a meal, and then you're either napping, doing homework, and then you're going right back to practice at 3 o'clock, which is a pretty, you know, general 9 to 3 is a decent amount of time before practices, but it's a quick turnaround for some. I mean, the guys cutting weight I give a lot of credit to because they have a lot less energy, and they probably hate me sometimes because I bring so much, but it also, if they can just buy into it, some guys have been, they didn't like me at first, but you know, they're like, all right, this guy's he's got some energy, so it's cool to get behind, but did that answer your question?
No, that totally did. And I think I've only had the pleasure of knowing David for about, 10, 15 minutes now. I can feel the energy myself. Like, I'm ready to go.
Cool.
So this is awesome, man. And, you know, best of luck to you.
I appreciate
awesome
that.
story. Big year to come with the Arizona State Wrestling Program. And like we said, November 1st, Maroon and Gold scrimmage. Then they've got the big one against Oklahoma State coming
absolutely.
up on the 20th.
We're going to make some noise.
Should be a lot of fun. Thanks a lot for joining us.
Thank you so much.
We'll be back to wrap things up with Graham Rossini when we return.
All right. Go Sun Devils.